Hello and welcome to a special episode of Damn It Vacant. This week we are reviewing OPW Overboard because it was Rumble weekend all around the country, all around the globe. And I am here with Joe, who also came to Morecambe this week.
I did. It was good. I was fine. Yeah, I had a good time. I think I caught your lurgy from Morecambe. So I think whenever we go to Morecambe, one of us just gets a disease.
Yeah, I still got it from bloody December. Kind of nice.
I know, I've just got really bad. Might be from yelling too much. There is that.
Yeah, there was that. I felt a bit worse this week after it, so I'll probably top myself back up with a Morecambe lurgy. But no, yes, we went again with my son Theodore, brother-in-law, your brother Darren and his son, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a good family day out, as we've always said. There's nothing quite like the wrestling in Morecambe. And on that note, just a small plug. We don't want, other people, them stealing our listeners, but if you haven't heard it, the Morecambe Wrestling Podcast is, I think they're only done the pilot episode for it, but it's Greg Lambert, legendary promoter, and he's just been involved in wrestling for centuries, it would seem. And Silent Mark as well, who you will know as the ring announcer compare from Odyssey Pro Wrestling. They've got a podcast. It's out on Apple and Spotify and all the other usual places you get to it, but it is just specifically about the history of Morecambe wrestling, I listened to the first one. It's very, very, very good, very interesting. I'm assuming they'll go into more detail and stuff as it goes along and stuff, but it's just nice because as we said, we came into UK indie wrestling after lockdown, wasn't it, basically, when it all opened back up?
Yeah,
because we didn't know, we're idiots, and it's a wonderful thing, but we don't know none of the history of nothing. But it turns out everyone who's wrestled in Morecambe at some point. And I'm not just talking from Big Daddy days, but we're talking people who've gone on to be in WWE and things like that. There's a huge history of wrestling in Morecambe, and hopefully, not hopefully they will, but throughout the shows and stuff, they're going to go into the history of it all and stuff. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I very much enjoyed it. It was about an hour long, but it flew by, and it was just very, very entertaining. So if you can get that listened to, it's very nice.
Yeah,
they didn't pay us for that or anything. It was just.
Yeah, I've just copied the link into the bio for this,
stuff,
so you can put it on. So yeah, go and give them a listen. And yeah, they've got he was on the show, wasn't he, to help with the raffle?
Yes.
With the raffle.
Well, he's written 3 books. I've ordered one, just about the history of British wrestling, but it's something, again, I think I got one for Christmas last year. It was very, very interesting, but it was very sort of 1960s-y based, which is fine, but all these men are old now or no longer with us, whereas something around, 80s, 90s onwards would be more interested for me, personally. But it's worth a read. I don't read enough. So I thought, yeah, give them a whirl. That's something to read in the hour before I go to bed.
Yeah.
More knowledge. It's always good. But yes, he was. They might him there. I think they'd recorded the podcast the day before, and he was like, "Come along." But he's going to be there at the next show as a sort of guest ring announcer and stuff as well. Maybe he gets involved with it, and we need an authority figure, no pun intended. But yeah, it's just nice bringing people in and rekindling that love that they may have lost, or they may have just fallen out of step with wrestling. Because it is the big weird family. And sometimes you need to take a step away from it, and sometimes when you come back, you go, I don't remember, I don't know why I ever left this. And I always get out with Morecambe. No matter how sad and shit I feel, whenever I walk into the Alhambra, it all just fades away, and you're just this is going to be the best 2 hours now. It's going to be great, and it always is. Even when it was Brassic that Christmas, one before Christmas last year, I buy a load of t-shirts just to stay warm. It's still a good time because you're having fun and people are having fun around you. And it's that thing that they always say that it is real in Morecambe. The people there make the show as much as the people performing, because it's such a weird symbiotic relationship that they have with them. But it's a lovely, lovely thing. So yeah, go and listen to that. And the tickets for the next show, which is April
14th, 12th of April.
12th of April. St. Skeletor's Day. It's not. It's the day after Valentine's Day. It's the 20th anniversary. Is it 20th anniversary of their Overboard? Of the original
War on the Shore. War on the Shore,
sorry. Which was run by one of the former promotions that ran out of Morecambe, but they're still continuing that tradition. And it's the tradition and legacy of it all, which is also a really nice thing to see. But it's already shaping up to be a good card based on what we saw at Overboard. So let's get into that then, instead of just me talking for 5 minutes about stuff. stuff.
Yes. Yeah, let's get into the start. It wasn't what we were expecting. Didn't think I'd be shedding a tear in the first 10 minutes of the show.
I know, talk about highs to lows, eh? Yeah.
Yes, Will Carter came out. Silent Mark introduced your OPW champion. Came out suited up, looking very cool. And he was doing
like
a
Greek pirate.
When he was going past, I didn't say it to you at the time, so I sound stupid, but I remember when he went past his mum, and I thought she don't seem that happy.
No, you'd be going mental, wouldn't you? The fact that he wasn't in his ring gear, like
that threw me.
But
yeah, he got a great chance. Got the "You Deserve It." It's crowd going mad for him, but yes, very sadly he's injured his neck. Seen the doctor, and it's that kind of classic case of you can keep wrestling, but you might not be able to
feel your arms
properly
in a couple of years.
Or you stop and recover. So obviously there's only one choice there. So
yeah. Like, it's such a horrible shame, because we've all followed Will's story from when OPW came back, and it was such a great cathartic moment at the last show, which, if you haven't seen it, is up on their Patreon now, which I don't know, I haven't checked. Yes, it is. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, because it is just one of those moments that will bring you such incredible joy. But for them to come out and be like, I can't continue. I could, but it would permanently injure me. It's the same. The sensible option is he had to drop title, unfortunately. And there was one woman in the crowd who's just, well, don't do it. And I'm like, his health is more important than a belt.
He's only 25 or 24,
he's
25.
12 years old as well.
He's young.
Yes,
so
he's a youth. So you've got your whole life ahead of you. And there's not to say that something doesn't happen, and like through physio or whatever. Bryan Danielson came back, Edge came back, Paige came back, Saraya, what I mean? Things can happen, times can change, but it was an incredibly sad thing to see happen. We wish Will all the best in whatever he chooses to do. I hope we still see him about, because he's a lovely lad. And
well, I liked when they've put on the Facebook, like, the next show, tickets on available here, and his mum's already gone, like, hotel booked, tickets bought, she's still going. I was like, I love that.
She's the only person that keeps that hotel in business. The Clarendon's lovely, but yeah.
Ethan came out and he handed the belt over. It's sad. I said I won't name them, but I talked to a couple of wrestlers on the night, and they were just like, it's really sad. But then at the same time, well, no, there's no doubt about it. It's sad if that's the last match, if that's in Morecambe at least. Imagine if that bit hadn't have happened. Like, if he hadn't actually got to finish.
If it had been the show previous.
Hadn't got to finish the story.
Yes. Yeah. If you're going to go out on a high, obviously. But yeah. And it kind of put a bit of a squash on everyone's mood a bit, because we're like, oh, right. Okay. So does that affect. Well, my first thought was, well, that's going to affect the running order, because we were going to get Will against Eddie Ray.
Yes.
And then there's supposed to be number one contenders.
Craig Collins and Decker.
Which we found out became a triple threat for the title. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's, they're not hanging about with it. It's not AEW. We're not getting tournaments to,
That's the first thing you said. First thing I said was, the winner of the Rumble is going to be the time champion. You were like, tournaments.
Tournaments. Oh, I love a tournament. But yeah, no, that tonight we're going to crown a new champion. Not to draw a line under Will, but the world keeps spinning, unfortunately.
We'll say when we get to it.
Yeah.
So, and then the flip side of that is we had the return of Leah Raven.
We did have
taking some time off for her physical and mental health, and she was defending against Lana Austin and Holly Barlow, who, first time I've seen her.
Big fan of Holly Barlow.
Thank you to Lana Austin, because when I was doing the thread, I couldn't find. Well, I found her, but it said this account is suspended, and then I couldn't find. Because OPW hadn't. Sometimes they'll tag the wrestlers in the post, and that's how I find the tags. So I can put them in. But they hadn't done that, so I didn't know what they were. But then Lana's tagged her in, and I was like, "Thanks." And she was like, "Yep, sorry, I got suspended for being too funny years ago." So
I just never went back to it.
Well, she's got another account, but it's not as easy to find. So
okay.
This
in drawing attention to it.
Couple of years, the best women's match I've seen.
Because there were stakes for it. Because the past past while, like there's been championship matches and stuff, but it's never felt like a real threat. As that one's where like it's never going to get me on the edge of my seat because I know the outcome of this is already predetermined. But putting it in the fatal three-way, always confuses me when Lana Austin's working as a face. Because everywhere else I see her, she's a heel. And again, though, I remember when she came into Morecambe and everyone hated her, and now everyone they're such a fickle crowd, these Morecambe people. But no, it was nice. It was nice to see. It was lovely to see Leah Raven back. It was nice to see Lana Austin. Always nice to see Lana Austin. Hell of a lariat on that woman. And Holly Barlow, who I haven't seen before, but can't wait to see any more of her because as a heel goes, she was tremendous. Like just proper shithousery, like old school shithousery. And there was some absolutely brilliant stuff. There was suplexes outside the ring in front of the snack bar, which probably scared the lad that works there a little bit. There was that incredibly grotty sort of push off the top rope to Leah Raven that I don't know whether that was intentional or it was mistimed, but it looked awful. And I like the fact that both the faces teamed up to take down.
Holly held her own. There was a bit when she was on the turnbuckle and they both ran at her and she kind of flung herself up and stomped both Lana and Leah to the ground. So I was like, that was the kind of point when I was like, oh, okay, I'm locked in on this. Now. It's not the shriveling kind of heel. Obviously, they're doing the shithousery stuff, but she was
a good wrestler as well. I said I haven't seen, but I have seen clips of her because I was looking it up beforehand, like at other promotions. And yeah, she's a very good wrestler, and it was just a really good match. Not because it was a women's match or whatever, but because there were stakes involved in it. It was like Leah Raven's return, so you've got to come back and stamp your authority on stuff. But also because there was a story in there of like Leah and Lana working together, and then there was a shaking of the hands and may the best person win sort of stuff. And at the end, Holly tries to bring the belt in to cheat, and it's like we don't do that. You know what I mean? And
it's a triple threat. You can do what you want.
I know. No, it was Lana who said no, we're not winning like that. You don't win like that. And I was like, well, you can do a triple threat. But Leah sneaks the pin for the win.
They're throwing Lana
out, which. Yeah, it's
someone's turning there.
I
thought Lana was going to turn on her at the end when she held her hand up.
It's a bit too obvious, but it's brewing there, isn't it? Like it was, but it was again just a lovely bit, and Lana held her hand, and it was like, "Welcome back, Leah." It was for an opener as well. It was absolutely what you needed because it was.
Yeah, some great near falls in there as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll definitely see Leah Raven, Lana, but hopefully see Holly again. Just looking on this on her X account there, she's next Friday she's making a debut at Progress against Lana Austin. So
doing well. Oh, is that the one in town?
Yes. Oh yeah, it's in Manchester.
Yeah, but it's Progress.
Bowlers back arena.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously she's on the radar to do that. So yeah. Leah Raven retains. She was out as well at the break, getting all the photos. So went over. He wanted his photo. And I was just like, "It's nice to have you back, so thank you." And then one of my favourite moments of the night, I think I said to you, Leah's a mood right now, and you just looked over at the merch table. She's having a donut.
It's fine. Yes. People are allowed to eat donuts, Alan.
I know.
It's fine. But yeah, no. Then after that, we got
the Rumble.
The Rumble, which is the best bit. If there's a Rumble, I'm automatically going to be mad happy for it. And your first entrant,
Ethan Edwards.
Yeah, Ethan comes out. The only way I can stop Rick Marcus from winning this and getting a shot at the title is by, and he admitted he lost control last time and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I think Ethan's gone off the deep end a little bit. We'll have to send him some Street Fighter gifts, cheer him up. But yeah, but then Alexander Gray comes out as 2.
Well, before that, Ref Greenwood comes on the screen.
Sorry, yeah, there was a
which was a big bit. I'll read his tweet because he quote tweeted our thread. Ref James Greenwood came on the screen. He said, "I'm truly sorry about this. I was at a meeting with OPW Board of Directors fighting for Ethan to keep his job. Unfortunately, he again got himself involved with Rick Marcus, and they have stripped him of the GM role and placed Greenwood in charge instead. With this as part of OPW management, we are going to ensure Ethan gets the help he needs. He will take an anger management course with the hope he'll return as GM and he'll become an active member of the roster for the next year while he does that, so he can get his anger out in the ring. In the meantime, I, James Greenwood, will try my best to make the OPW shows the best they possibly can be. And this
which
did not
made
go
Ethan
down very well with Ethan.
Made Ethan even angrier.
Yes. And then his mate came out, Alexander Gray.
Then Alexander Gray, the man with the titanium jaw, came out. I'm going to point this out now because we all saw it, and it made me quite uncomfortable because I've seen it happen to young women wrestlers, and it's like, you can shake a wrestler's hand, you can give them a hug if you ask. Like, you do not squeeze their bottoms. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. The lady sat near us, and I don't know if she knows him or it was a fun joke or whatever. It sets a precedent. Other people see that and think, oh, it's okay, I can do that. It's not okay, you can't do that. I'm not a wrestler, but it made me feel weird because I'm like, that's not on. So please don't do that, right? It's just a little thing. Like, you can shake their hands, you can stand up, give them a hug, whatever. Don't essentially sexually assault them. Thank you. That has been my TED talk. It's just one of them things. Like, even your lad saw it and was like, "That's not right," and I'm like, "No, it's not. Don't ever do that to anyone ever. Don't go around. You're not a gooser. Don't go around goosing."
Yep.
And he's like, "Ethan, calm down, right? We can, if we stick together, we can both eliminate Rick, and we can, then we'll take it from there, right? We can work to our journey." Ethan's having none of it. Slapped his hand away, like, set about him. And you're going, Ethan, he's gone like full Big Mad Andy from Peep Show.
Reference.
It was one of them things. Like, I was just like, he's clearly lost, like, in the red mist. But what can you do? You can't talk him down.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting character arc over the next 12 months, especially with what happened later on within the Rumble. Yeah, then the ring started to fill up then. And Ethan was holding his own. He was just beating the crap out of as many people as he could.
Anyone that came near him, it was like that bit in The Simpsons where I'm going to swing my arms, and if you get in the way, that's your own fault. But yes, and again, there's a couple of people in there I haven't seen before. Bashiva, was it H Hood? There was Holloway. There was someone called Lucky. They were all. I haven't seen them before, and I don't know whether they were. I don't know. I haven't seen them before anywhere. But that's just me because I see a lot of people. But it was all really good because it's a Rumble, so it's nice to see. It's a chance to get people in, get them some ring time.
Mickey Barnes?
I'm sure I've seen Mickey Barnes somewhere before. Mickey Barnes, the hardest man on the estate. Who is a mountain of a boy, right? Like, when he come out, my brother went, bloody hell! Like, he's a giant man. And I think was it him and Rick Marcus spent about 20 minutes just throwing Nate Reese between them, like just beeling him across the ring to each other?
No, that was Sheriff Steele.
Oh, it was Sheriff. Sorry, yeah. And
Probably.
it was, yeah, but I mean, poor Nate. He had a match later on as well.
Yeah.
Rick Marcus came out and like tried setting about them. There's a lot because it's one of the things. There's a lot going on because it's a Rumble.
Well, Rick snuck up, didn't he? Because I quite like before he came out because whoever it was, Ethan was just basically pummeling somebody on the apron on the outside, just punching him repeatedly in the head, and it was the one in the cargo pants. That's who he was beating up, and then. Yeah, then Rick's music hit, which obviously distracted Ethan, and he's just stood waiting for him. But Rick came in from behind, speared him, threw him over the rope.
Yep, all that anger and stuff he had waiting up. God took your eye off the ball, and it's it happens. You've just got to be smarter about it, I think. And then we just had Rick Marcus.
Get the better of him.
Well, that's what happened last time, wasn't it? Emotion got the better of him. He's an emotional man. He's like the Hulk of emotions. The trick is he's always angry. Yeah.
But you mentioned Nate, but he did get some revenge on old Mickey Barnes.
Well, he's the one who eliminated him in the end. We got Dougie and Ry Lloyd as well, who I know from Bolton Wrestling, part of the Welsh dojo. North Wales dojo, sorry. Who have I saw Dougie when he first debuted there, and he was your friendly shepherd, which he quickly abandoned because it's a terrible gimmick. But they're now running like Team Positivity. I tried doing the hand gesture at him, and he told me to go away in no uncertain terms. Like, so, yeah. But they're very good young wrestlers out of Wales. We also got, is it Danny Boy Johnson out of Viral Connection? in there as well, who had a match later on, and I was like, Rumble ain't worth if you got a match later on, but
And Omega.
and
Luke.
and Omega Luke was in there as well. Like I said, it was a cracking Rumble because it sets up bits of story stuff for later on in the year.
Not mention your nightmare spot.
Again, I think he was called Sonam, the lad that came out, this jacked giant man came out. Nightmare kind of eliminated him quite quickly. I think he eliminated someone, and then Nightmare did the classic while he was showing off, flipped him over the ropes. So he drags him out and tried to put him through the merch table, but them's his sturdy table, so Nightmare's skeleton just bounced out of his body a little bit. And then came back in, like the Doctor Strange thing that I reference a lot. But yeah, can I have one of those T-shirts where there's like a Nightmare imprint in them, please? Yeah. It just had bits of stuff for everyone. It's a Rumble, so it's just chaos, trying to keep track of everything that's going on around you.
Rob Drake popped out as well.
Stupid, sexy Rob Drake.
But yeah, in a mirroring of Ethan being distracted by music, it got down to number 20, and then Logan Paul came out.
If it did, I would have left and I would have burned the Alhambra to the ground.
Much greater than Logan Paul coming out last in a Rumble is RPD. That was a pop. Popperoo. The only pop that rivaled it that weekend was Joe Hendry. That's how good
I'll give you that, yeah. And he was like, all right, RPD's back. Sweet. Into this.
Marcus straps down as soon as he sees him. There was no high-fiving the children from RPD. It was straight to business.
All business, mate. It's going on. And they basically ended up clearing house. Final four?
Final four was Alexander Gray, who was the Iron Person. He went the full hog. Rob Drake, RPD, and Rick Marcus, who's trying to get RPD to team up with him. Playing on the Born Ready thing to basically say, let's get rid of them together.
Yeah.
None of them were having it. But we also, in the midst of this, then got Rob Drake kicking Alexander Gray in the balls and then throwing him over, much to the confusion of RPD, who didn't stop him, which I liked.
No.
Really annoys me in Rumbles when people stop someone eliminating someone.
Why would you?
Yeah, they do it often, don't they? I get it when it's their friend and they're trying to help them, but yeah, and then I think Rob Drake said, "I hate you," or took his shirt off. So I hate this place. I hate Morecambe. Started getting the booze, and yeah, it was a 2-on-1 then on RPD, who managed to overcome.
He did the best he could do. Man's a fighter. He's never mentioned it. And eventually, they eliminate Rob, and we're left with Rick Marcus and RPD in the ring. They end up brawling on the apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, until RPD clocks Marcus proper. Marcus ducks down, wraps a chain that he's put there previously around his fist, punches RPD. RPD's dangling like one-handed off the ropes, and Marcus utters the phrase, what was it? Bow to the King of Morecambe? God of Morecambe, that's better, yeah. And just literally knocks his hand off. RPD's out. Rick Marcus is your winner of the Rumble. Guaranteed title match. I don't know whether it's like a money in the bank type situation, or is it just a contract for a match of their choice?
No, it's a cash-in situation.
Oh, it was last year, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how Quinn won, wasn't it? Because Marcus took out RPD and Quinn just snuck in and interjected himself. So yeah, RPD.
Was that a year ago? It'll have been heck. Yeah.
So that's when he came up to his Ave Maria.
Yep. I remember. It just doesn't seem like a year ago.
But you weren't there on the cash-in, so that'll be why that bit I didn't.
All right, single tier. I was at a wedding or in India or somewhere where I would much rather have been in Morecambe. Yeah.
Distraught RPD on the outside, Rick mocking him from the inside, and then RPD cut a promo on him. Basically said, "This is
gone on for far too seriously long by halves." Yeah.
Yes, this isn't over. We need to end this. Let's have a match at War in the Show, the 20th anniversary show. And very rightly so, Rick went, No, I've beat you, and I've got this contract. Why do I want it? And then RPD played on Marcus's emotions by saying, "I'll give you the one thing you want, my career."
Yep. So it's
that goaded Marcus in.
Is it a last man standing match, or did I imagine that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, well remembered. I forgot that bit. Yeah, so yeah, Marcus.
I was like, come on, Iron Man, or table ladders and chairs, or something. Like it's ramped up each time. They've had, this is the rubber match of them. So it was
a lights out last time. Ethan was referee, wasn't he?
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, last man standing out is illegal anyway, isn't it?
Marcus accepted it because he's like, yeah, I can finally kind of put you to bed and move on. And then as he was walking out, RPD was like, oh yeah, one last thing. I'm gonna go the only way I know how, obviously from being a boxer, last man standing.
And I was like, so yeah, that's next show.
Never seen one of them. That stip at Morecambe.
No. Something new. Should be. I mean, if there's two people who are going to do it, it's them two, because this has been going on for a long time now. Not in a horrible way, in a great way, but again, you got to draw a line under these things at some point before it gets.
Show. Yeah. The law is long. Show 1, they were the two that were doing the meet and greet on the very first show.
Yeah.
We're
so old. We had to break.
Ran in because he had no contract. But yeah, really good Rumble. Really enjoyed it. For props to everyone. They are never. I can't imagine kind of how hard they are to wrestle. Just being able to keep track of everyone and where they all are, because
where you are in the sequences of it, yeah.
So yeah, as much as they make it look easy, I think it's fair to go. Fucking done.
Yes, tremendous.
Yes, break, and then Nate Reese, after getting thrown back and forth like a yo-yo, came out to face Lucas. Just Lucas now. This was a false count anywhere match.
Yeah, not false count somewhere, which is a mystery wrestling thing, and it's copyrighted by them. No, but as Nate was coming out, Lucas jumps him from behind. Like this is a lot of bad blood in this. And it again went round the room. I didn't see a lot of it because it happened near the bar, and I couldn't turn. Like I'm not an owl, and then everyone else was stood up behind me, so I missed all that. But again, they were leathering each other. And
then Logan, isn't it? Logan, who took Lucas's place in they were meant to fight at the last show.
Yeah,
Logan came on. I can't be bothered coming. Logan came out, but ended up clocking Lucas with a chair.
I mean, that'll happen.
Accident.
Yeah, I mean Nate Reese. I've seen him in a few places now, and he always seems like the hardest worker in the ring. Like he's giving it 110% on everything. He's really good. I see big things for him in his future, like, because I'm sure he's already been and done big things. But again, this was just a nice sort of tie off of that. Like Nate pins him. He's celebrating his win, and then the man on the hardest man on
finisher on the chair.
Yeah, didn't like that. I'm always afraid of stuff like that, just because the hardest man on the estate, Mickey Barnes, came out because he's not done with Nate. Like, I just proceeded to murder him to death. Like,
and Nate was celebrating on the apron, and then big massive hand came around his neck, literally picked him up, lifted him back into the ring, chokeslammed him, and then if that wasn't enough, he did the Undertaker's last ride.
As the man behind us called it, just an extended powerbomb. But yeah, and the thing is, like, Mickey Barnes is huge, and Nate's, I'm not going to say small, but he's not 9 foot tall like Mickey Barnes is. So it's a long way to come down from there. And he left like Nate broken in the ring. And I kind of want to see Nate against Mickey Barnes in a match.
Yes, please.
Just to see Nate climb up him like Shadow of the Colossus. I say this a lot, but someone make it happen. Just him scaling up him, stabbing him in glowing points until he gets to the top. Because and I said Nate was great. It was a great match. Hopefully now, like, Lucas can go off and get involved. Him and Thingy get involved in, I don't know, in the tag team scene or something. There's ways it can go. But again, just a really good. We're back from the break. It didn't let up. It was 100 mile an hour all the way through it, and then we got to see a man murdered at the end. Tremendous.
Then you mentioned the fickleness of a wrestling fan, as Daniel Bryan, as he was then called. I don't think I've ever seen such a shift. So then we had a tag match, the North Wales Dojo, were fighting Viral Connection, which is Omega Luke and DBJ, who the last time we saw them were fighting Meatwagon as big old heels.
And were booed, like, were you saying boo or boo earns? Yeah. But again, lesser of two evils, isn't it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. North Wales Dojo, hated in Morecambe. I don't know, because they're Welsh. I don't know. Viral Connection, come out with a bubble gun. Like, everyone's 100% on board. I mean, who can refuse a bubble gun in it, though, really, to be fair?
Bubble gun, a GoPro. And I think I said to you, they appear to have tapped into something primal in Morecambe, which was like 90s. What was the song?
I don't know 90s fairground dance music, so I'm going to say Chicane. I don't know. Whatever that is, whatever that is, yeah.
It tapped into something primal in them Morecambe people.
That Yeah, I've never seen anything like that, of that work through the crowd like a virus, infecting people, to do a little dance that they'd invented themselves. Yeah.
Limbs everywhere.
Yeah.
I
I was
remember
like,
that because that just kept happening. That's like what's
all the
going
way through it, yeah. It was like to power them up. You na 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 na. It's great. It's great, lovely stuff.
Loved it.
So yeah, like viral connection over as heck in Morecambe now in the space of 2 matches. That's all it takes if you're that good, I guess.
But what I did appreciate is when they won, they actually cut a promo and acknowledged that and said, like, we appreciate you. We know the last time we were here, we didn't have your respect, and basically we didn't respect you. But their match with Meatwagon got
really
them the
good.
respect of Meatwagon, and they were like, no, we got to come back to this place, and they wanted to come and bring the fun. And I really appreciated that's the kind of like the KO continuity. You know how KO always remembers what's happened in the wrestling show. I really like that little bit. So,
it was good. Like the match
fair play
itself was tremendous. Viral Connection have got that really good tag team synergy thing about them. Dougie and Ryan Lloyd have as well, but it's not there's not like set tag team moves with them sort of thing. So it always feels a bit off doing that, if you know what I mean. Like putting 2 people together in a tag team against an actual tag team. Yeah. But it was a cracking match. Some ludicrous stuff. The only bit I remember as well before it was DBJ being on Luke's shoulders with the bubble gun, just running around the ring. Like this, we're not even started yet. I know we've got to fill for time.
You're filming on the GoPro.
Yep.
Yeah, they came around us, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for that." Omega Luke was like, "Thank you for that picture. It's awesome." So use it, man.
But yeah, a tremendous tag match. Just
knee slides for the victories as well.
When they won, they were skidding about like children at a family wedding on their knees. But yeah, the promo bit where they acknowledged what had happened previously, which some wrestling promotions don't do. I'm not going to name names, but for them to admit that, it matters and it makes sense. I think the people in Morecambe appreciate that because they're not thick, as much as we joke about these things, but it helps to ingratiate you with people if you go like, again, lovely match.
They're happy to go to the bottom of the line after losing the last match, but they're going to fight their way up back to meet.
And again, more viral connection. Yep, the better. Good lads indeed. And then we get to the main event.
Yes, so this was the triple threat for the vacant OPW championship. Decker versus Collins versus Teddy Ray. So obviously Teddy Ray was scheduled for this match because he'd had a to-do with Will Carter after the last show.
Mm-hmm.
Decker, as he'd said on the live pod with us, he's never been the main man in Morecambe in 20 years, and he's trying to fight to get himself up there. And he'd had a beef with Craig Collins at the last show. So yeah, triple threat. Great.
Decker has stopped wearing his sexy pirate pants now, I've noticed, after I pointed it out, which I just thought they were nice trousers. But yeah, Teddy Ray coming out with his poncho on as well. Big fan of Teddy Ray, as we've said before. Tremendous technical wrestler, tremendous seller as well.
From the HBK school.
Yeah, but better, because it wasn't pantomime. And Craig Collins is a monster. He's a machine of a boy.
He really showed out though in this. I thought, obviously, he was doing the big power moves, lifting Teddy Ray up from the ground and dropping him. But he did a frog splash at one point. Into Eddie Guerrero. There we go.
It was all around the ring as well. I think we got dives out of the ring. We got just stuff. It's hard.
Yeah, it was hard to track, but it was good in a good way. I think we always talk about triple threats. Teddy Ray, I think, is really good in a triple threat because he's like the glue guy. Can really because he's so technical and stuff like that. Like that time when I remember Butcher saying it was his favorite triple threat and to go and watch it when it was Cena, Lesnar, and Seth, and Seth was like the glue guy between the power people in there, and I thought Teddy did a really good job of that. As did Collins and as did Decker in bringing their own, because they're all slightly different and bring their own different strengths, and they bounce off each other.
There was a great synergy between them all, because like I said, you've got like Teddy Ray submitting people and things, and with these incredibly intricate lockups and stuff as well. I don't know how you can bend a man that way, so to speak.
Because there's a nice stretch when he did a 619 Teddy Ray, and then he bounced into a pedigree from Decker.
Yeah, I think did Collins kick out of the hangover?
Yes.
Yeah, which again is rare, but not unheard of. But as you know, as these things will do, Decker takes the I think did he hit Teddy Ray with a pedigree?
Yeah, well, yes, he did, but Teddy Ray had got the belt and he was about to hit Decker, and as he was about to run, Will Carter got in between them and was like, "No, you ain't doing that." So then he tried to hit Will, who ducked, and then he fell straight into the pedigree from there, which got the 1, 2, 3, and the crowd went wild. And in a sad moment where Will handed the belt, well, bittersweet moment, Will handed the belt
I'd say
over to.
It was bittersweet. Decker hands it over, Will hands it over, raises Decker's hand, walks out. But as he's just about to walk back through the curtain, there's a turnaround and a look and a kind of set jaw that he gave. And again, I don't know whether it's a last look back at what could have been his, or you're only holding on to it until I get my bionic mecha neck. I don't know. It could just be me reading into stuff that isn't there. But as we've noticed in Morecambe, they plant these things for reasons. Like there is. I'm not saying that I'm in no way saying that Will Carter is faking stuff, and it could just be that it's just there in case I do come back one day. Like,
it will be. It sounds, from what we heard. It could just be sadness. I said you would be sad. You would be sad. But
it was a lovely moment. Decker is your new OPW champion. Everyone's going mental. Like, it was a good ending to a show. It was a good high after the crushing lows of the start.
Yeah, good way of putting it. No cash in. I thought at one point the cash in imagine ending it like that.
Yeah, Rick Marcus wouldn't be showing up again anytime soon. We all remember what happened. Yeah, but and again, as it always is with Odyssey Pro Wrestling, like it's always a great show. Like I've never been to one and gone, we're all right. They're always banging. Like. Even if there's bits in them that you don't like, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but there's always something there to bring you back round again. And this, literally, again, one of the best shows. We say this after everyone, but one of the best shows they've done. Just because that women's triple threat to open up, the Rumble, like the tag match, Nate Reese getting murdered by a giant man with a Japanese fighting dog. You want to buy vapes, you got to get him off him on the estate, right? And then Decker finally cementing his place in the upper echelons of Morecambe wrestling history, and it was nice.
Yeah, it was a great show. War on the Shore is next Saturday, April the 12th, which is their kind of WrestleMania.
Yes,
isn't it? It's a big one. It's literally the week before WrestleMania as well.
It's almost like they set these things up on purpose.
Yes, I know.
But far the only match announced is Marcus against RPD, isn't it?
Yes, the last man standing match.
I mean, the front row is already sold out anyway.
Yeah.
But
is it gone already? Nice.
Yeah. I looked before and it's like, front row gone, but half, second row, and then some general and stuff waiting. But that's just on the strength of that one match alone. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be hopefully it's gonna be carnage, because
it will be.
I don't know, and I don't even know who I want to win, really, because I'm still waiting for RPD to turn.
The dark RPD.
I also love evil Rick Marcus. So again, as I said last time, I want RPD to turn and then they reform Born Ready, but as like a Brotherhood of Evil type thing. Brothers of Destruction, the Undertaker and Kane.
Kane and Brothers of Destruction,
yeah, that kind of thing. And then just to go just literally tear through everyone. That's what I want, but that's just
I'd like that. Take the tag titles. Take the titles of Meat Wagon, because that's who RPD was teaming with when he lost his championship.
I mean, there is reasons there, yeah. There's a lot. Again, there's loads of ways it can go. That's what good storytelling does, isn't it? Leaves endings open for you to fill in.
Yeah, and we've said that repeatedly. It's one of the best things about Morecambe. They clearly put stock into the stories. They know where they're going. And even on this night, where obviously they've had to pivot severely because of the Will news, but we're still able to make lemonade out of lemons. So
yeah,
fair play.
We will see you there on April the 12th.
April the 12th, yes. Won't say any names just in case they don't happen, but we are hoping to have at least one of the OPW stars on for an interview before then. Before then,
yes.
To build up the show,
God willing, so, yes. Yeah. If we can sync up times in calculators,
sync them calendars up. Everyone's very busy, but
calculators. Yeah, everyone's busy. There's a lot of stuff. People got lives and that. We get it. But yeah, so that's that basically. If you haven't got your tickets, go and get them. If you haven't listened to the Morecambe Wrestling Podcast, go and give that a listen. And there was something else, but I cannot remember what it is. It's gone. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Don't know. No,
important.
no, it probably wasn't. It was probably just like, buy me a drink next time you see me or something like that. I don't know. But yeah.
Oh yeah, get some more red stripe in. I've not drank cans of Strongbow in ages.
Yeah, but it was good. It was like being at a festival. I had such bad heartburn that night watching the Rumble. I had like 5 cans of Strongbow, and I'm going to die. Yeah, but that's not our fault. It's fine. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, we'll see you there. April the 12th. It's gonna be a good show. It always is. If you haven't signed up to OPW's Patreon, you should do, because it's value for money. They've got all their shows for the past 4 years on there. So you can watch. You can watch the RPD and Rick Marcus story from the beginning. You can go back and watch, Will Carter's fall and rise. There's all of it's there. It's all for a couple of quid a month. I think it's about 4 or 5 quid. And I stick them on when I'm feeling bad. I've watched that end bit of that Will Carter match loads of times.
Nice.
Just cheers me up. But yeah, go and give them a couple of quid, or if not, get your ticket, tell your friend. There's been a lot of new faces there as well, I've noticed.
Yes.
So
yeah, in the crowd, yeah.
It's nice. Still the same old faces, like, which is lovely to see. But just a couple of new people, and they were like, "Are you coming back again next time?" And they were like, "Yeah, really enjoyed that. It was good." I was like,
and people in front of us in the line when do we go in with the VIP? And I was like, "Have you been before?" And they're like, "Yeah, but we've never got VIP before." So it's like you come in, you sample what you like, and you're like, "I must now get VIP because I need to be."
Yeah, I need to get first in, get somewhere nice to sit. Yeah, but all those people behind us, they had a whale of a time. Like, I mean, the one guy just he knew what the names of the moves were. But fair play, horses for courses, whatever tickles your bow. And there was no swearing as well this time, which was very nice. Yeah,
correct.
So come along, we'll see you there. And if you don't, you're dead to me. Hang on.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Not said a word, wrote down the wrong sister.